Light Seekers, this is Oya Transformation, and this is your daily Oracle reading for 9/17/21. Happy Friday! So, all the seriousness of whatever it is that you do that keeps you committed in your time through the day is about to melt away. So, we're going into the weekend. The cards have been shuffled and divined, and the message is as follows. The first card for this day is Soul Name. What lightens up your house? Well, most of us, I go to say, don't know what our soul name is. And does our soul name change as we go through cycles? This card is asking that we spend some time in silence, asking with an open heart for God to give us the name of our soul. You know, many cultures give the baby the name before the baby is born, and the baby's life is spent living up to that name. Not so much here, but we have a right here to change our name whenever we want. And there are cycles in our lives that request that we change our name so that we can move closer to that which we are now, that which we are now seeing as a future and not what we have been. So, this card is asking that we take some time and ask Spirit to guide us with our new soul name that would tell us where we go from here. The second card is a number one, which speaks to our identity, our ego, and leadership. Soul name. The second card that supports the soul name is a number two. In comes the duality. Is that which is likened unto itself is drawn. So, the duality says there's always going to be another thought. It may not be high as the initial thought. You hear it, don't speak it, don't spend time dwelling on it, particularly if it has anything to do with deflating the initial thought, because your soul name talks about where you are in your journey and where you're going right now. And don't let anything, because all coins have two sides, don't let duality creep in where you diminish the places that you've been, so you diminish your ability to go where you have all intentions and plans to go. Because if you look back at this soul name card, the sun, all powerful in the universe, Amen Ra, the sun is the center of this house. God is the center of this house. So there's no need for duality. There is nothing to knock you off your pedestal but you. So have a single pointed intention and ask Spirit to illuminate what the name is that is the guidepost for your soul this day. Now, that is the support. The support is making sure that you recognize that once you figure out what your soul name is, the duality will come. It lives in you. It'll come to knock you off of your space so that you don't support that name as much as you might have without it. But how do we live without it? We don't know. We'll never know. All we know is we spend time, and the majority of our time, reinforcing the name, reinforcing the intention, reinforcing where we're going. Now, the challenge is the Eight of Fire. The Eight of Fire says that we gather momentum and celebrate the changes, that we energize and travel and find that thing that transforms us the quickest, that transforms us the quickest back to that name or toward that name. So, what do we need to do? How do we get from where we want to go, from where we are? We're talking about transformative movement. We talked a little bit about it the other day. It may actually be travel. It may be dancing with the thought in mind of what my name is. Who am I today? Who am I intended to be at the end of this journey? Because I like to say we're always writing our obituary. And no one's leaving skipping. We're all going to leave in a box or in a bottle. But we're going to leave. But when we leave, and it's probably going to change a couple more times in our lifetime, but when we leave, we want to put punctuations on places that we have been, that have been guideposts to get to where we were going. And each place has a name, each purpose has a name, it has an intention, it has an affirmation that lives in the name. So, with that said, we are being asked to gather the momentum. Because, not making a choice is still a choice. We want to make the choice and hold on to it, and that takes work. The final card in this reading is the Four of Pentacles. She's holding on to her pennies, which is nice. We want to gather our pennies. We want to know where they are. However, when we spend more time in materialism and watching our pennies closely, we don't get a chance to watch God, to hear God, and where Spirit would have us be. We don't get as quickly the understandings that we're supposed to get by watching God, because really those pennies you have would not have been here had it not been for you making prayerful decisions and staying with them. So, know you are safe, not because you have ... in the bank. It's because you have a spirit guide, you have a God, you have ancestral spirits and angels that watch over you. You have ascended masters, and so do I. And for that reason, I am safe. Not because my pennies are how I would like them to be, not because my pennies aren't how I would like them to be. So let's keep a close watch on God and less time spent on materialism. That's the message for today. Happy Friday. Take a time out and journal, rest, and tell me what your soul name is. I'm going to do the same. Namaste, and thank you for listening. Be well.